Another day of the accountability series. It is for us to build habits together. If you feel like you're not yet there in your goals, or you're missing a few days, you're having a rough time getting the groove of things, that's perfectly fine. One of my biggest mistakes over the years is getting caught up on perfection, especially in the early days, but also putting so much pressure on the new year as being the time to change myself, when literally habits are built over time and not overnight. And there's nothing wrong with feeling like new year, new me means a chance for you to work on the things that you want to. I just want to remind you not to put too much pressure on yourself, especially if it comes to deadlines and perfection. The first and most important thing for me when I start my day is having a filling and satisfying breakfast. And one of the key factors to that is protein. 1, 2, 3, 4. These eggs are not all mine, but this one is right here, and these. Now, when it comes to protein for your first meal, it is so important to give you that satisfaction, because protein is one of the most satiating macronutrients because of its slow digestion. So if you find that in the morning you will have your breakfast but feel hungry maybe an hour or even 30 minutes later, we want to look into adding more protein to that meal. It's also very important for blood sugar balance because that slow digestion helps release glucose into the bloodstream much slower. One small to medium-sized egg typically contains around 6 to 7 grams of protein. So if you're having 1 egg for breakfast, we would still want to add a bit more protein to that. 2.5 eggs, a little bit of bacon, some rice, and I also added some cheese, which will all give us a little bit of protein. Protein is not just from meats, but it's also from things like grains, with rice offering anywhere from 2 to 3 grams of protein per cup. We also have cheeses, which may be mostly fat sources, but are also pretty high in protein because they come from milk. So when you're trying to increase protein into your life, it's not just about your meats or your eggs. It's also about finding those other food items that can help increase that protein intake. I'd say this meal would have anywhere from 12 to 15 grams of protein, and while we could still definitely add some more for more satiety, we're starting with this. A little bit of mayo and ketchup, my favorite. I think it's already time for some matcha. This is Elijah's matcha collection. This is what he's gonna try, and I'm gonna have this one. This is currently my favorite. For our matcha, we're using soy milk, and this one has 8 grams of protein per cup. It is part of our goal to build the habit of reading. And like I said, one of the things I want to do when you build habits, you have to find your cue and then your habit so you get that reward. My cue is usually after eating. My goal is to read. So we have our book. I am currently reading The Inner Game of Tennis. So let's read a bit of it. Trying hard, a questionable virtue. Haven't we been told since childhood that we're never going to amount to anything unless we try hard? So what does it mean when we observe someone who is trying too hard? Is it best to try medium hard? One day, while I was wondering about these matters, a very cheery and attractive housewife came to me for a lesson, complaining that she was about to give up the game of tennis. She was really very discouraged because, as she said, I'm really not well coordinated at all. I want to get good enough that my husband will ask me to play mixed doubles with him without making it sound like a family obligation. When I asked her what the problem seemed to be, she said, for one thing, I can't hit the ball on the strings. Most of the time, I hit it on the frame. So he tested her forehand. And truly enough, out of the 10 balls, 8 of them hit the frame. But her strokes were good. I wondered if it was her eyesight, but she assured me that her eyes were perfect. So they tried a little exercise where he told her to hit on the frame. And slowly, less and less, her balls were hitting the frame. And because of this, she was like, oh, I can never do anything I try. Joan was beginning to sense the difference between trying hard, the energy of self-1, and effort, the energy used by self 2. Self 1 is considered the teller and self 2 is the doer. And most of the time, self 1 takes over, telling us all of these things that we should be doing and compounding and stressing. And it makes it hard for self 2 to build up the confidence to actually do these things. Self 1 is the habits that you have in place, while self 2 is the part of you that continuously does it. But most of the time, we are likely doubting ourselves. Self 1 is taking over, and it makes it hard to actually do these things because we're so focused on perfection. Our goal, of course, is to have self 1 build the structures of the habits and the routines and the habit loop, but self 2 builds the confidence to do all of these things without having to overthink it. Easier said than done, but it's always the goal when it comes to, well, health and most things. Today we have a few tasks, a few shopping lists to check. So our first stop is Costco. We've got the cart, let's go. We're here at Costco, get a few things, and I want to show you different protein options as well, because I think there's a perfect opportunity to show you the different things you can add into your grocery list if you want to add more protein. Elijah, let's stay focused. Stay focused. So let me give you a quick rundown of protein sources and the amount of protein they have per serving. Let's start off with your classic protein sources: fish, beef, pork, chicken. This would roughly have 30 grams of protein if the serving size is the size of your palm, or 8 grams of protein for 30 grams of that weighed meat. Mozzarella and cheeses are also great protein sources that provide around 8 grams of protein per serving size they have. And as we mentioned a while ago, eggs would have around 6 to 8 grams of protein, depending on the egg size. Milk having 8 grams per 1 cup, and then you have Greek yogurt and cottage cheese that range anywhere from 8 to even 18 grams of protein per half cup. For those who are more plant-based, your protein sources would definitely be your nuts and seeds or your beans and legumes. Nuts and seeds with about 6 grams of protein per handful, and beans and legumes with 6 to 8 grams of protein per half cup. Underrated protein source is roasted chicken. Ooh, a little chicken fried rice taste test. Mini protein snack, I guess, while shopping. Not bad, very flavorful. About 5 grams of protein per little ball. Ooh, we got a little taste test too. Next stop is Target. We're mainly here because Giles saw this Polly Pocket thing that's supposed to be in Target, although I think it's already sold out, so we're just gonna check. I'm also gonna buy a few things here and there, mostly essentials. Polly Pocket sold out, but we're looking for some board games. I want to also bring some home. If you have any specific board games that you think are really fun, please let me know. There's more over here. Exploding Kittens is supposedly good, Elijah just said. Maybe we'll try this one.
It's the bigger one.
It's the bigger one?
Yeah.
Anarchy pancakes. This is so cute. Look at this throw burrito. So it is lunchtime and we are at Chipotle to get ourselves a little bowl that we're gonna share. One of the things that I love is when you can have those row of options of protein, fiber, carbohydrates, like they have it all and you just have to choose and put it in a bowl. Sour cream, yes. Adding some cheese, just getting everything in there. And of course we are getting the extra for guacamole, even though it's a little bit overpriced.
Chipotle's the best.
That's our bowl. We got our bowl, Chipotle. So we're just sharing because the servings are huge, can literally fit for 2 meals.
They packed their bowl compared to everybody else because Joe was filming.
So this is gonna be our lunch and it's loaded with protein, keep us satisfied. It's got a lot of fiber as well. And it doesn't mean we have to skip our carbs. And there's our lunch, a little messy, but so good. Unfortunately, no tennis because it was a rainy morning today. So the courts are probably still going to be wet. But we are still going to get some movement. We're going to go for a quick run. Our goal is 3 kilometers. We'll see what we do. Nothing too intense. We're not runners here. And then we'll do a little bit of body weight training just to build up those muscles. So let's head out. We both don't have a sports watch, so we're just going to do 25 minutes. Let's do it. Snack time. It's a guava strudel. Something you'll notice is that when it comes to snacks, it's mostly high carbohydrate and nothing wrong with that. But we do want to add some protein for more satiety and blood sugar balance. So I have this mozzarella stick and this is around 6 to 7 grams of protein. So we've got that and we're sharing this one with Elijah. Snack time. Spaghetti sauce. I'm gonna put it on the pasta. Boom. Is this one yours? Yeah, this one is yours. Boom. Is that good?
That's good.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe a little bit more. That mushroom right there.
Okay. We got some carbohydrates, some protein in the sauce, and we got this with some chippies for fiber. Cheese. And this one is mine.
55% the size of Chipotle. Pero masarap. Okay.
We're now playing Exploding Kittens. Also, we have a little snacky Quaker cheddar rice crisps, which have around 2 grams of protein per serving. And it's late, so we're going to bed. I'll see you tomorrow. You always deserve to eat. The video's over, but that doesn't mean you have to go. You can still subscribe or watch the next video. Thanks for watching.